So good evening everybody and welcome back to another film. I'm still on Iona as per last video. So this evening's shoot has gone a little bit haywire, I'm afraid. I had a plan for once. I had a plan to shoot a particular location, a location that I shot probably 2 years ago now I think. And what happened was, when I was last here I did a video, and then at the end of the video I took a bit of time out and managed to get another shot that I didn't show on that particular film. I'll put that image on now. So it was only when I got back and saw the image processed it, realised just how nice it was, how much I liked it. I thought that it would be a great opportunity this time back on Iona to go back and make that as part of a film. So I went this afternoon with a copy of the shot so I could find the exact spot. And what's happened in the time since I was last here is that the beach has completely changed, and the sand that you see in the foreground there has now turned to shingle, so it's lost any sense of appeal that it once had. So I had to, in fact it took me ages to find the location because it had changed that much. I was stood lining the properties up in the background, and but yeah, it just isn't to be. So I'd committed to doing a film this evening, so what I've done is I thought, well, I'll come out anyway and just try my luck. It's the last day that I'm here on Iona, so I don't have any more opportunities on this visit. The forecast tonight is quite a strong wind blowing, and the sun is setting on the opposite side of the island to where the previous shot that you've just seen was taken. That was taken in the morning, just as a storm was approaching up the sound of Iona. So I've come over to the western side. It's an equally beautiful beach, but I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to shoot. The light on the horizon, I'll show you that now, there's some lovely shafts of light as you can see, but I fear that the sun is going to go down into cloud. I'm still going to commit to shooting the location, mostly because I need to do, or I want to do, another film whilst I'm here. But the beaches on Iona, as is the case on many Scottish remote beaches, is beautiful white sand and it's highly reflective. So even in relatively dull conditions, you can get some decent images. I mean, the image that you've just seen was taken when there was no direct light. It was just very, very bright, dramatic overcast light. So I thought, well, let's chance it, let's give it a go and see what we can come up with. So I'm going to go down there now. I'm just heading down to the beach. I've just hit the top of the sand dunes. I'm going to put this camera down and spend a bit of time just looking up. Hopefully I'll find something to shoot just as the evening draws to a close. So I've managed to line up a shot. I'm not 100% convinced about it, and I think that's because it lacks colour. I did, as I said before, intend on shooting using the white sandy beach, and I've not done that. I've moved straight to the foreground where there's a number of rock pools sort of dotted around this general area, which are really quite nice. You've got some lovely smooth boulders. And what I found was, just moving here, just come back here where it's a bit safer. So this inlet here drew my attention because it provides a nice foreground interest, a nice leading line, and there's lots of water movement, and ultimately it leads to the sky, which is a bit burnt out at the moment because I've got the light setting on me, so it's just overexposing the sky a little bit, but I've still got that nice dark brooding sky in the background with the sun just hiding behind it. So like I said, with the water movement, it's quite nice, and it does have that nice lead in, but the rocks, with them being so dark, it just lacks punch. Obviously when I'm looking at it on the back of the camera, having just taken it, I'm viewing a raw file, so you know there's every chance that I might be able to bring something more out of that. I've got a a case 0.6 neutral density graduated filter on the top because the sky is really quite bright in comparison with the foreground, and I've put a 6-stop neutral density graduated filter just to give me a 10-second exposure to smooth water out. Actually, as we speak, the sun is coming out, so I'm just going to quickly bob over and take one whilst I can, because that potentially could introduce a lot of light onto the rocks. So it's still a 10-second exposure. The problem with that is I've not readjusted it for the light as it is now. So I'm going to pop you down and sort that out. Hopefully you can still see. Realign that. So let me just go and sort that out while the light's nice. It might make a huge difference to this shot. So like I say, f16, 100 ISO, and it's currently, exposure wise, it's a 5-second exposure. Really dramatic sky. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a couple severely underexposed just to take into consideration those very, very bright highlights. And I'll now take another one slightly overexposed just to get all the detail in the rocks in the foreground. Hopefully I can blend all those together in Photoshop. But the thing is, because I'm taking several images to blend together, I don't really get a true idea of what the overall image will look like until such time that I have actually blended them together. But that's got some potential and not a bad starter, so I'll put that on now. So the light is becoming really beautiful right now, but I've moved off from that particular spot. It may have come out during the blend, I'm really not sure, but I didn't feel 100% happy with it. And often you get in a position, well, I sometimes get in a position and I really feel like everything has come together. And when that happens, I generally really stay with it and just milk it for all it's worth until the light is completely gone. I didn't get that at all there. It felt sort of forced, a little bit too quick, rushed perhaps. So I need to find something else. The light's probably about, well, the sun's probably about, you can really see it, probably about 10 degrees. It's just below the real thick clouds. It's not that obvious on there. But there's probably still about half an hour left in the shot. In the evening. There's something opening up quite nicely behind me. There's a bit of a bay there that you can see if I sweep, over my left hand shoulder to the right hand side there. That could potentially work as a nice sweeping panoramic. Yeah. The question is, do I move or do I stay here and try and find something local to this spot, or rush around like a complete idiot trying to find something? But look at the light on my face, it's really beautiful. And just to be here to see that on a remote Scottish beach, I have the whole place, the absolute whole place to myself. And that was another reason why I wasn't overly happy with that last location. I was a bit too close to the water, and although the sea isn't rough, I haven't got much in the way of phone signal here should anything happen. So yeah, time to do a bit of scouting while there's still a bit of light left. I think I'll go this way, take a chance. Right, I've hit panic mode. We've literally got hardly any opportunities left. The sun is about to dip behind a cloud, and that might be the last time we see it. I've been up that end of the beach and I've been up that end of the beach. If I shoot in that direction, the edge of the dunes are quite unsightly. There's no real nice end point to the shot. And if I shoot in that direction, we've got a dirty big black rock there in the way. and beyond that there's just more of not very much. The real problem here is that all the rock everywhere around me is so fractured, and there's nothing really stands out. There's nothing in terms of contrast to make one bit nicer than the other. Normally with landscape photos you're looking for contrasting shapes, colours, tones, textures, all that, and the only thing I've found is this boulder down here. I hope that's not too dark. That boulder is completely different from everything else all around it, and there's a nice big rock pool just underneath, just at the foot of it, with some lovely greens and some lovely blues, and that's the only thing I can find. I'm going to set up on it now, but I've got a funny feeling that that sun is going to go behind that cloud, and once it's gone it's probably going to be gone for the rest of the evening. So I'll set up, and I think even if we lose the light, I'm going to shoot it anyway, because I've walked the best part of 40 minutes to get here, and it would seem silly to end the video with no shot when I've got some sort of opportunity in front of me. And who knows, you never know with these things, sometimes they might work out, and when you think that you need the golden light, sometimes it's often the case when you get the flat light, then the images can really come alive. And if you think back to the image that I showed you early on, that was taken in very, very poor light, but yet it's such a beautiful shot, and those colours in that rock pool in flat light might just really come alive. So get the camera out and give it a whirl. Okay, so as predicted, the sun has gone behind that big bank of cloud on the horizon. It's just sunk behind it there. I've got the camera lined up on the composition that I found. It's not ideal, it's really messy, but like I say, I'm going to shoot it anyway. The clouds above are colouring up, so that's something at least, but let me talk you through the composition, because I feel it's very, very cluttered, and the cleaner the composition, in my experience, the more successful it always is. So there's a lot of elements to this, and whilst I feel that the jigsaw fits together, I think it's just overly complicated. So I'll just talk you through that now quickly before we get any light on the clouds above, and I'll take the final image. So hopefully you can see that okay. Now I will point out that on this particular camera I can record direct through the camera, but because it records at 16:9, I can't really show you the composition, so you're just going to have to bear with me as best I can show you with the back of the LCD screen. So what I do like about it is that at the foot of the boulder you've got these 2 or 3 sort of lines that lead sort of diagonally into the image. The boulder, like I said, is the nice bit of contrast, and you've got like a circular area of rocks around this big rock pool, and it's that I'm really hanging the whole composition on. What really troubles me is down in this bottom left hand corner we've got the bladder rack, and it really is a big dark mass of black. There is some lighter shades of green in it. Bladder rack varies in colour from green to yellow to very, very dark, almost black colour, and in this image there's a lot of black, an awful lot of black, and a lot of clutter. It's very, very fragmented, but it is what it is. It's what I've got, and I'm gonna go with it. What I'm putting on in terms of filters, I've got the case polarizing filter to take the reflection off the water, and I've also got a 0.6 hard graduated filter across the sky. So all I need now is to pray that we get some light above in the clouds perhaps. There's certainly plenty of cloud on the horizon, which is quite nice. So I'll show you that if you can see it. So yeah, there's some cloud along the horizon line there, and with a bit of luck we'll get something. But I'm going to start shooting this now, and I will put the image on now. Well, it's now 20 past 10 and the sun went down 20 minutes ago, and it never really well, in fact, not really about it, just didn't reappear. I just saw a little slither of it as it dipped below the horizon, but it didn't cast any light whatsoever. I think I looked out tonight with the light, and also the composition I feel didn't really work. But you've seen the shots, and if nothing else, you've at least seen one nice shot from a previous excursion to this island, which I'm really still quite fond of. So that's it from me and Iona. I leave the island tomorrow, and with a bit of luck, the next time you see me, I will be down in Suffolk. So quite a trek from here to there, where I'm heading off in the next few days. So that will be in a couple of weeks' time. So tonight, if you have enjoyed the video and you do enjoy seeing the odd fail, which I feel this is probably the way it's going to go once I process the images. But anyway, if you do like seeing real videos with real results, and not always just the real fantastic images, well, please consider subscribing, ring the bell for notifications, and if you have, like I say, if you have enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Leave some comments below, let me know what you think of the images. And also, as I keep going on about, there's now a join button, and you can join the channel for as little as 99p a month, and for that, the big thing you do get is early bird access to videos. So I'm going to leave it there, start my trek back to the house. I will bid you farewell from Iona. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.